this segment, I am going to be going over the basics from the syllabus. All right, so here it is, the Math 112 Pre-Calculus Spring 2021 syllabus. My name's Erin Harris. My contact information is listed here. Email is definitely the best way to get in touch with me. I check my email multiple times a day. And other information you're going to find on the syllabus. The college requires us to list the course learning outcomes. All right, so they're kind of broad, but they're listed here. But here's the reason that you're taking this class. And here's the main outcome that we're going to have. All right, the learning outcome that you will achieve is you will be prepared to either take Math 221 or Math 213. All right, the one on the left is called Calculus 1. The one on the right here, the 213, is called Applied Calculus. All right, the only reason that you should be in this course is if you have either Math 221, which would probably mean you're a science major, or you are required to take Math 213, which means you are in the business track, right? Economics, business administration, accounting, something like that. If you are not in a program that requires you to take either Calculus 1 or Applied Calculus, I don't recommend that you take this course unless you just want it as an elective. All right, for the Common Core, you are required to take a course with the R/ in front of it for your reasoning component of the Common Core. Calculus 1 or Applied Calculus are R/courses. Okay, pre-calc is not. All right, so in this class, you are not meeting the R requirement for the Common Core. All right, so in that case, if you don't need to take Calc 1 and you're in this class, you're only getting elective credit for this class. All right, if you have other questions about whether or not you should be in the class, you can talk more with me individually or with your advisor. But the bottom line is, I assure you that if you do what you're supposed to do in this course, I will have you well prepared to move on and be successful in either of these two courses. All right, moving on to the next section, which is materials. I'm not going to cost you a whole lot of money. However, I probably will take a decent bite out of your printer budget, all right? Because the textbook is a free downloadable textbook on the front page of Canvas. Also, whatever graphing calculator you come out of high school with, which is either the 83 or the 84, those are totally sufficient for my course. If you don't have a calculator, or your calculator from high school got lost or died, you could make use of the free calculator software at desmos.com. I had a couple students use that last semester. The one issue with that though, so desmos.com and then /calculator, there is a free graphing calculator that you could use for this course. Moving on to Calc 1, which maybe you don't want to worry about the calculator until you get to Calc 1, but if you are going to purchase something, I believe most of the Calc 1 teachers are recommending the TI Inspire. Make sure you get the CAS, which has the computer algebra system, and that means that it costs over $100 and not the $30 version. Okay, but again, if you have questions about purchasing a calculator, please talk to me individually about that. So I said I was going to take a bite out of your printer budget. All right. There are many handouts that I'm going to ask you to print because I like to, it's not that they're guided note sheets the way your high school teacher did, but I give handouts with the examples. I feel like that's more efficient use of time than if you're not copying down the examples as I write them up. So you'll be taking notes, which you should have on loose leaf paper, and then we'll be doing the class examples from the handout. So I feel that the best way for you to organize yourself is to have a 3-ring binder where you can organize the loose leaf paper that you take notes on, and then have that day's handout right next to that. And then also keep a separate tab for homework. All right, there will be similar handouts. There are handouts which will say, for example, rational expressions, class examples, right? Then there'll be another handout that says rational expressions, homework assignment. All right, and it's important to keep those separate because the homework assignments I do collect for a participation grade. I never collect the class examples handouts. Those are things that we're going over together. All right, so I would ask you to try to have some sort of organizational system where your homework is kept separate from the class examples. So here are the grading categories. So I have already mentioned collecting the homework. That will be part of the collected work, along with other assignments, which I refer to as participation assignments. Basically, the collected work category, for this, if you just do everything you're supposed to do in the class, you will have 100 in this category. All right, then the quizzes, every Friday, we're going to have a quiz, pretty much every Friday. All right, I'll talk more about those in a minute. There's a midterm exam and then a final exam, which will actually be optional. All right, if you are passing the course and satisfied with your grade by the very last quiz that you will take in May, you don't have to take the final exam. You have to take the final if you are not passing the course. That will be like your one last attempt to prove yourself. The weekly quizzes, you can take those either through Canvas remotely, or you can take them in class in person. All right, so if you would like to do a pencil paper version of the quiz, you can sign up so that I can plan for space because I only can bring so many of you into the classroom at once. Last year, I never had an issue with more students wanting to come into the classroom than space allowed. So hopefully I don't again this year or this spring. But anyway, you can sign up to take the quiz either in person or the quiz will be administered through Canvas. It will open at our class time and you will have 1 hour to complete it and submit it on Canvas. Therefore, I can't control for students having notes in front of them. All right, so I'll go ahead and just declare that the quizzes are open notes. If you come in class and take it, it can be open notes as well. And a couple exceptions to that. There is one quiz that will be closed notes calculator off, meaning that in order for me to monitor that, I have to require that it be done in person, or if you're a fully remote student, you can take this on camera. Sorry, I'm in my office and there we go. The lights just automatically turned off. I wasn't moving enough. So you can be a fully remote student in this class. I do talk about that, I think over in here, the fully remote student, okay? So there will be a couple places where I will ask you to take an exam on camera, right? If you're away from campus, all right? But you can take my class fully remotely. And in a separate video, I'll talk more about finding all of the material that you'll need posted in the modules. That will be in a separate video clip. So moving on, so I talked about here a midterm exam, which is not open notes. The midterm exam will feature a calculator off section. And I will want all of you to come take that exam in person unless you're a remote student who is not in Geneseo, all right? And you will be taking it on camera. So here's a listing of dates, right? Almost every Friday we have a quiz. And I did plan the midterm, and this is a little past mid-semester. Mid-semester is more like mid-March. I planned this for a Thursday evening, which means we won't have class the following Friday. And if you have a Thursday evening conflict, I will offer an alternative time to take that. So the collected work component of the grade, as I mentioned, I will collect the homework assignments and you get a participation for that. The way that collecting the homework assignments works, I don't collect them individually. I will collect, so let's see, your first quiz is on February 12th. On the date of February 12th, and I describe it here, what is covered on that quiz is the material from the week before. All right, so there's always a lag between when I teach you something and when I quiz you on it. All right, and then on this date of February 12th, which you will be tested on the week 1 material, all week 1 homework is due. Okay, so there will be an open assignment on Canvas that says week 1 homework, and you'll submit all of the 3 or 4 week 1 assignments all in a single PDF document in that assignment on Canvas. All right, and so every single date that there's a quiz, the homework assignments associated with that quiz will be due on the day of the quiz. Okay. Other things in the collected category section. All right. I used to, prior to the pandemic, I always had a participation, a collected work participation type of requirement where I would bring students, I would have students in class get into groups, and they would do a group assignment, and then I would collect 1 paper per group. Obviously, the pandemic has prevented us from doing work in that way. But these are just quick assignments just to kind of hold you accountable. It is kind of hard to discipline yourself to watch these lesson videos and, you know, do the problems that I'm suggesting that you do throughout the video segment. And so this is just to increase the accountability. All right, so I am going to, about 2 to 3 times per week, I am going to give you participation assignments that are worth 5 points, and you get the full 5 points. They don't have to be correct, all right? Because first of all, when you're first learning the material, I don't expect everything you do to immediately be perfect, all right? So if you have an incorrect answer, that's okay. You still get the 5 out of 5, as long as they're reasonably well done. All right, so sometimes last semester, students would submit an assignment to me, and I could tell that they made absolutely no attempt to watch the video and learn anything about the material, and they were just scribbling something down to submit on Canvas. So in those cases, I did send the work back to the student and say, you know, watch the video, try this again. Okay, so it does have to be reasonably well done. But as I said, as long as you submit it, you get the full credit for that. Now, a lot of what is left on the syllabus, I'm going to talk about in a separate video. So I'm going to make a separate video on coming to class, how to know when to come to class and what we're going to do in class. And then I'm going to make a separate video on finding lessons and materials on Canvas. All right, I'm going to put those in separate videos because if you forget, or, you know, you don't catch everything I said here because I throw a lot of information at you when I initially go over the syllabus. You know, I'm trying to summarize a semester worth of stuff in 15 minutes, and sometimes that's just information overload. So I decided to make some separate video clips so that if you need to go back in and say, oh my gosh, I can't find anything on Canvas, I don't know where to be looking, then you can watch just that individual video clip rather than have to rewatch this entire video segment. So let me just take a quick scroll back through here and make sure that I think I said everything I want to say on this segment. If we were in class, I could say who has any questions, but obviously I can't do that. So certainly though, if you do have questions, go ahead and email me, but I'm going to end this video segment now and prepare a couple separate segments. So thanks for watching.